dear students. So today for political science or civics, as we were learning chapter 4 electoral politics. So today I am going to continue. Yesterday I taught you that there are fair elections, and a democratic country always wish for free and fair elections. Now, while going for the elections, we have learned that there are a lot of politics which goes on behind the elections. So, being a member or a citizen of a democratic country, what do you feel? These politics should be there? Are the politics mandatory to have elections? Let us learn about it. So, we have, right from the moment we gain our, knowledge about the society, we know that whenever there are elections, there are political competitions. Now let us first find out that what do we mean by this? What do we understand by political competition? So political competitions means competition among the political parties. Suppose there are 4-5 parties who all are struggling to win over a seat. Now, suppose BJP is there, Lok Dal is there, Congress is there, CPM is there, Trinamool is there. So, there has to be a competition among these parties. Now, whenever we are talking about political competition, we have to keep in mind that if, suppose in your classroom, you see that when you are studying, it's a simple thing. You have to learn the chapter, you have to sit for the exam, and you have to pass it on. After learning, you will be promoted to the next class. This is the simple way of education. But when you are sitting inside a classroom with 40 number of students, who is learning faster than you? Who is lagging behind? Can I, compete with him? Simple competitions are there inside the classroom also. Many of us, we feel that competitions are always healthy, to motivate you, to promote you. So, without competitions, even elections are pointless. Whenever there is a competition, that means you are trying to struggle to opt for betterness. You are trying to prove that you are better than the other party. So, if we are talking about political competitions, always keep in mind that without competitions, elections are absolutely pointless. Now, what are the electoral competitions have? First of all, let us see that these competitions have a lot of demerits. There are a lot of negativities in the electoral competitions. For example, party politics. You know that every party, they have their own systematic way of addressing the people. They have their own policies, and to win over the people, there are a lot of politics which goes on with each and every. You cannot figure out a single political party which does not go for politics. It has to be there. That is how the politics run. Then when there are party politics, it is very obvious that allegation against each other. Even the Prime Minister is allocating the opposition leader, the Chief Ministers are allocating, the opposition leaders are pinpointing the Prime Ministers and the Chief Minister. No one is, kept aside of it. Everyone, the allegation keeps on happening. Many people who have got a good motive towards the politics, they do not like this way of, going for the politics. Then dirty tricks to win elections. You might be knowing, putting on the gunpoint, pressurizing the people, threatening the people. People, they try to win over. But those are not the actual process of having political competition. So because of these dirty tricks, because of these allegations, good people, they do not enter this arena. For example, if you talk about me, many a times, when I was taking up your classes, many a times you have said that, ma'am, like, I want to become an MLA or MP, but I don't want to be involved in the dirty politics. So, many good people, many educated people, those who have good concept about the politics, but because of these things, they do not enter this arena. Now, competition in elections work better These are demerits we talked about. Now let us talk about, there are some merits also. There are some betterness when there are competitions in the elections, and for longer run, if you see, competitions are always healthier. How? Now, in an ideal world, all the political leaders know what is good for the people. Yes or no? Everyone knows that if my state or if my country is an agricultural based country, so I have to focus on the farmers. If mine is an industrial based country, so I have to focus on the industries. How can I explore the natural resources? How can I reach out to the people? Each and every one, if it is an ideal world, if you keep your eyes closed and if you don't want to see who is suffering, and in spite of you being the leader, that is pointless. But if you are into good politics, you know that what you should be doing for the people of the country. Second, they want to remain in power, isn't it? Suppose I can work for people. And what is the best way if I become a political leader? A political leader has got all the accesses to the resources, to the people, to the government who is standing as a backbone to push him, is the best person to reach out for the common people. So they want to remain in power. Years after years they want that yes, the power should be with me. Secondly, they want to advance in their career. You see that when you start as whether you talk about our West Bengal Chief Minister or you talk about our own Prime Minister, they started from the grassroots level. And where you have heard about Modi ji being he used to sell tea. And where is he now? He is our Prime Minister. So everyone, they want an advancement in their career. Today if I am here as a Chief Minister, I will definitely want that someday I will become the Prime Minister of the country. So how this will happen? You have to prove yourself. You have to give something to the country, to the people, so that they will accept you. One more good thing about the politics. Some want to serve the people. There are very few very good people. They talk about Lal Bahadur Shastri was the man who said Jai Jawan, Jai Kisan. He was the one who thought on both the direction, that the defense which is there guarding the country and the group of people who are producing food for the country. That kind of people, those Lal Bahadur Shastri, they were the people. He was also into politics. He also faced all the allegations. He faced the dirty tricks, but still he was sticking to his point. And these good kind of people, they really serve the people. And a common man like me, as a teacher or as a student, you would definitely like to bring these people into the arena. So it is our responsibility, because always remember the selecting the representative, which I spoke about yesterday. These group of people, these group of political people, whether they will be sitting on the chair as my representative is in my hand. So whether I want to go for voting to a man who has terrorized his own territory, or a man who really wants to serve, as an educated person, it is quite natural for me to understand who is who. So the vote, one value of my vote remains in my hand. Now, lastly, let us see that how can we improvise these political people. How can we improvise them? Number one, try to improve knowledge and character of the leaders. Whenever you are going to vote, after few years, children, you will be voting. You will all turn 18 years of age. Now last year also when I talked at Lok Sabha and all, I focused on this, that whenever you are going for voting, don't just blindly vote for them because you believe in one particular party. You see what is the character of that leader. You see that how knowledgeable that leader is. Will this man be able to be your actual representative? If yes, then vote for him. What is his background? As I said that, criminal backgrounds, we have learned all these things. So you go, you search about it and then only you vote. Then realistic approach. What kind of realistic approach? Suppose if we start rewarding them for serving the people, there are many rewards, Bharat Ratna. So the person who is receiving Bharat Ratna award will definitely feel that I have to work for the country. So years after years, when you are serving the people, you might get a reward like Bharat Ratna. This is an example I am giving you. The reward can be of any type. The reward can be that after 5 years of service, because you have served your people, next 5 years again the power is given to you. That is also a reward from them, because just now we learned that many of them, they want to remain in the power. And this is what the election does. If you think on all these points, the elections are the only possible way to make this happen. Why? Because it remains in the hand of the people. People are going to decide about their representative. And if they fail, if the political leaders, they fail in their work, they fail in their deeds, they fail in their promises, we all know that they won't get the votes next time. And this also, the rewarding the people, these also increases the political leaders' popularity. There are few leaders, always, like I'm talking about Narendra Modi, because imagine how popular this man has become, not only in our country, but also in so many other countries, in the other countries also, because he is putting up his policies in front of the entire world. So people are understanding and they are reciprocating the works done by his political leader. So elections, now you can see that though elections mean political competition, but as I gave you the example, without a competition, without comparison, you will never be able to bring out the good thing. So, in spite of having lot of discrepancies, in spite of having lot of disputes, still a democratic country must believe in political competition, because if you are into a competition, you are bound to improvise yourself. Thank you, children. So I will be continuing the chapter next day. I have completed up to, I think, page number 59, and before I leave, as I always say, sanitize your hand, keep safe distance, drink lot of water, stay healthy, and whenever you are coming out of the house, wear masks. Thank you so much. God bless you all.